let's hit our calls of the day, starting with Uber. Evercore boosting its price target to $80 from $75. Josh, this one is yours. What do you make of this call?
Well, I agree. So this is a long-term position of mine. This is a long-term position of mine. The next 5 points aren't terribly important to me. If you think about what's gone on recently here, Uber hit an all-time high of 81. It's about 8% below that level, so maybe this is the dip that you want to buy. There's a ton of technical support down at 62. Let's hope we don't see that level again. But Uber is selling 24 times forward earnings, which is very reasonable given its growth rate. 42% expected earnings per share growth this year, 60% next year. So I think the stock is still substantially undervalued in the short term. And in the long term, when I ask myself, does any publicly traded company right now have the ability to be one of the next Mag 7? Is there another $1 trillion TAM out there? To me, it's the company that owns the transportation of people and goods. And that is Uber, and not just in the United States, but globally. So I'm both short-term bullish and long-term bullish, and I agree with the call.
Wow. Okay, that's a big statement. Exxon Mobil got its price target hike to $125 from $119 at Mizuho. The company bullish on the oil giant's 2024 capital plan and long-term outlook. A lot of talk about energy with the SARE conference going on this week. Jim, you own this one, so I imagine you like this.
I do like it, Courtney. I am bullish on the space and energy in general. And I know there's a little bit of hand-wringing going on right now because crude oil's back above $80 a barrel, and people are talking about it as if it's never been here before. I mean, let's not forget that 6 months ago, during the unfortunate Middle East issues, we were above $90. So we're actually still in the middle of this trading range on oil that we've been in for several quarters. I think where the real story to be bullish on going forward is natural gas. Now, what I'm about to say is controversial, okay? I can't prove this, but, I mean, the beatdown in natural gas is something else. We know that the U.S. is awash in natural gas. We know that. We also know that it's a commodity, folks, and what happens when you get a glut is the producers pull back, demand picks up inevitably. Who knows? Maybe it's from Europe. I don't know. But what will happen is there will be an imbalance, and all you need is a slight boost in natural gas prices to get Exxon Mobil to continue to rally along with the energy space, and I think that's likely to happen.
Shannon, you were nodding your head as Jim's talking there.
Yeah, I mean, the natural gas pricing situation, I think, is an overhang for a number of these stocks. However, it's been interesting to see that even without any real improvement in natural gas, and actually a lot of evidence of continued headwind for the second half of this year in terms of supply, that you've seen the energy trade sort of pick up some steam. And to Jim's point, it's not like we're looking at $95 oil. So there's clearly some enthusiasm here, whether that's on just enthusiasm for cyclical stocks or on this economic growth story. There's something here to sort of latch on to.
And energy is the leading sector here today. CrowdStrike, Redburn Atlantic saying it's one of its preferred names in cybersecurity, raising its price target to $380. Josh, you're in this one.
Yeah, so I think what's going on here is very normal. It's a little bit of consolidation after a huge move. This stock is up 200% since January of 2023. So in like 15 months, the stock has tripled. So I expect it to bide its time a little bit here. We don't really have any near-term catalysts per se. It's 49% above its 200-day. So, like, give it a breather. Perfectly okay here. But again, I'm a long-term investor, and cybersecurity is not going to get easier to deal with. It'll only get harder. AI will be a tool that cyber criminals have at their disposal, and there's just going to be an arms race to keep up with that. This is the best performing of the cybersecurity names. Of all the names that exist out there, this is the one that I've owned and I'll continue to own. I think George Kurtz is just an incredible leader for the company and visionary, and I want to stay. So I'm long term and I'm not going anywhere.
All right, got it. CrowdStrike is a winner for Josh now and in the long term.